In 20 years of working in enterprise tech, I've never seen a shift happen so fast. It's very much been a slowly, then all at once kind of feeling. Agents like OpenClaw and Claude Cowork are showing us the near future of how the internet will work. Agent first and human second, and every SaaS CEO is pivoting hard to catch up. There's some big opportunities happening if you're paying attention to the right things. All new technology shifts start with developers. They are the early adopters, the builders, the creatives playing at the edge of what's coming next. And we've seen that with the likes of OpenClaw and Claude Code. Next come the companies that serve the developers, the likes of Stripe, Vercel, AWS, and then the entire consumer and B2B market comes afterwards. So right now we're at stage 2, and there are some new releases in the last 24 hours that we're going to talk about to help you understand that. So stay with me on this one, because by the end of the video, you'll have a completely different picture of where agent power development is heading. And I'll show you exactly how I'm setting up my own projects to take advantage of all of this right now. So Andrej Karpathy coined the term agentic engineering. It's the idea that humans don't need to write most of the code anymore. But here's the part that most people are missing. Coding was actually the easy bit to automate. The hard part was always the infrastructure around the code. So the other 70% is provisioning, setting up databases, configuring authentication, integrating payments, managing hosting, dealing with environment variables, and juggling API keys across a dozen different services. So just to get your head around why this is such a big deal, this article here is probably just over a year old at this stage, but Andrej Karpathy talks about how he's trying to set up a simple menu generator application, how the code generation is the easy part, but then you have to go and connect to the OpenAI API, replicate AI for image generation. You need to actually deploy this app somewhere via Vercel. You have to manage bills, etc. Then you need to have clerk authentication in place so you can actually secure it. And of course, you want to manage payments, and that would be via Stripe. So in that context, let me show you what Stripe just did. It's called Stripe Projects. It's at projects.dev, and the pitch is dead simple. Provision and manage your entire application stack from the CLI. So how does all this work practically? Well, you basically just install and initialize the Stripe CLI. You add in whatever services you want. So that might be NeonDB, Postgres, payments, and then Stripe will manage your tokens, your credentials, and your payments and upgrades to any of those different services. And from a security perspective, have all your env variables brought down from the cloud and synced into your projects safely so you can work across multiple different projects and teams. You can see already the value of this. If your agent has access to hosting and provisioning like Vercel and Railway, databases via Neon and Supabase, analytics and authentication, this is going to be a big speed increase for developing your projects, improving your safety, and allowing agents to do a lot more work for us. So if you want access to this, it's in early alpha. Everyone is going to have to sign up to the waiting list, but hopefully we'll see this rolled out in the next couple of weeks. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about another project you can use right now, and later on in the video, how I personally have approached this workflow for building out my projects over the last couple of weeks. So I'm fascinated by this idea of an autonomous company, where all of your company data becomes a single source of truth that AI agents can then operate on. So our sponsor today, Monday.com, is headed exactly in that direction. It's not just a productivity tool anymore, it's morphing into an entire company operating system, augmented by agents and driven by humans. It can be time consuming to set up a new workspace and put in all your project trackers, etc. But Monday will actually build out your workspaces for you based on your customized prompt. So for instance, here I got it to set up a client management tracker. Based on my prompt, it filled out projects, tasks, registration forms, but I don't even have to get down into the weeds in editing everything manually. I can now use Sidekick to have a conversation with the data that's in here, change it, ask for reports, manipulate it in any way that I want. I can plug in automations and use Monday's powerful API, so I can use it alongside Cowork, Claude, or even OpenClaw. And of course, I saved the best for last. We have a brand new Vibe tool. So I could do things like build a roadmap planner, feature tracker. So here's a quick content calendar app that I vibe coded with just one prompt. We've got timelines, matrix view, and I can add in any new objectives that I have. Thanks to Monday.com for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description down below. Now, Stripe Projects solves the provisioning problem beautifully for the services it supports, but your agents like Claude Code, Cursor, and OpenClaw need access to way more than just that list. They need to be able to call Slack APIs, hit GitHub, interact with your CMS, talk to monitoring tools, potentially hundreds of different types of services, including anything you would need to run a business like Gmail, Google Drive, etc. And that's where Jentic comes in. It sits between your agents and all the different APIs, MCPs, and tools that are out there. So, one of the biggest problems with having agents run the web for us is they're going to need security credentials and they're going to need various levels of permissions to use those credentials. Already, I've got 20 of them connected in Cowork to help run my project, the self-driving business. And already it's become a bit of a security nightmare and a pain to provision each one. And that's what Jentic is really setting out to solve. So Jentic runs in its own Docker container. You can spin that up locally on your machine. You can put it on Railway, AWS, wherever you want. And that's where you're going to store all your credentials and all your connection information for your agent. Very simple to set up. You just need Docker running in the background. So basically just git clone the project, change into the directory, and then run Docker Compose. So once that's installed, you just need to open in your browser localhost on port 8900. So what it does then is it helps generate a key that you're going to give to your OpenClaw or Claude Coworker or whatever agent that you're using. So this is where it gets really cool. When you're actually inside in the API catalog here, you can see the number of APIs that Jentic has access to. So what you do then is essentially search for any API that you want to be able to interact with or that you want your agent to be able to interact with. So pretty much anything you can do with the Google Gmail API, you can enable here. The next cool thing that's interesting about Jentic is how it manages workflows. Every time our agent is going to do things for us in a non-deterministic way, it's going to be burning a ton of tokens. So Jentic takes this a step further with the idea of workflows, and using a protocol called Arazo basically figures out how a task is commonly done, codifies that in JSON so it can be replicated over and over. You can imagine over time, as we start to use agents for everything, this is going to be a huge economic saving. Okay, so let's say I want to set up Notion. So add credential, let's just search if it's in the list. Yes, it is. We need to put in our API key here and then it gets saved. So you can find the integrations in your profile and then go to connections and then develop or manage integrations. So in Notion, just go to your internal integrations, create new integration. So that gives me a token so that my agent, OpenClaw, Claude Code, whatever you want, can now talk to everything that I have in Notion, and I can set the level of access there as well. Now, once you've got it set up, you can see here's all the operations that the API allows, because what Jentic has done is basically pulled in all the different operations. My instance of Claude Code successfully connected, but then it said, hey, you don't have permissions set up. And this is so important for agents, and particularly for businesses that want to be AI first. You can give access to your agent, but what is it allowed to do? What permissions does it have? So you can set that up through toolkits. You can have different toolkits and credentials set up depending on who's accessing. It stepped through getting access. It hit a permissions problem it asked me to sort out. And then boom, it went and created this page within Notion. So essentially, this is kind of the next level of infrastructure we need for working securely with agents. We've had all these novel applications like OpenClaw, which is powerful, but hugely insecure. Jentic and the likes of Stripe and other providers are stepping in now to solve those infrastructural problems, which I'm here for. Okay, so it's very clear how this is going. Agents are going to outpace humans as the main operators on the web. It is going to become primarily an agentic web, and we are going to become secondary users. We need to start addressing what all that looks like. First thing I would do is if you're building any kind of company in 2026, it needs to be agent first. It needs to have great APIs, MCPs, even a CLI, and very clear markdown-driven documentation on how an agent should interact with your services. If you want to know how I personally developed with an AI infrastructure and CLI first mentality, here's the stack I'm currently using, and I teach via my course and community at switchdimension.com. So number one, GitHub. I have stopped visiting github.com. I'm using the CLI for everything. Just using that simple GH command, I'm doing all my version control, pull requests, CI/CD. Everything now happens from the command line, and the agent is running this for me. Second of all, databases. Before, you used to have to go to Superbase or Neon and get the credentials, set it up in your environment files. No, just plug in the Neon DB CLI as an example, and it will actually do all that for you. So when I say, hey, we probably need a Postgres database in the background here, instead of me going and setting that up via the dashboard, via the Neon CLI, it just goes and provisions one, sets it up, spins it down as needed. Huge time saver. Use Vercel deployment. Use the Vercel CLI. It will basically go and check the build logs. It will deploy for you. It'll provision any instances that you need, all managed again by the agent and getting you out of the way. Clerk for authentication. So in terms of using test users, setting up users, managing users, all done via Clerk Auth and the Clerk CLI. And then of course, for managing payments, you've got the Stripe API, which is going to become hugely important in the coming years. And you can use PostHog for analytics. Get your agent to check on processes to make sure everything is up and running, if there's any errors, and to make sure that all your systems are in good health. You can do pretty much everything you want via CLIs now in terms of development. In just the last 2 weeks alone, I've seen a huge shift in how companies are thinking about this. Absolutely think about a CLI, MCP, and API first approach for the agent web going forward in 2026. So the other thing I've been using to speed up my development and also secure my development is by using 1Password to manage all my environment variables. So in a nutshell, you set up a new environment in 1Password for whatever project you're working on, and in there you store all the critical environment variables. And then what 1Password can do is actually mount those variables into whatever project folder that you're using so that your agent doesn't get to see them or nobody else gets to see them, and they're kept safe. And if you've got multiple different projects running and you suddenly learn that your project is compromised in some way, you can actually edit them all from 1Password if you need to rotate the keys or anything else like that. And what's more than that, it's just a great time saver. I'm constantly spinning up new projects that need Anthropic or OpenAI keys. I have them stored in a temporary environment container I can give to the agent to drop in. I don't need to go provisioning new API keys or anything else like that. Let me leave you with the bigger picture. What we're seeing right now is the early phase of a platform shift. Just like when we went from desktop to web, web to mobile, we're going from a human first interface to an agent first interface. So companies that get this, Stripe, Neon, Railway, Jentic, Clerk, they're going to win the next era. The tools that are easiest for agents to use will get chosen first. So we've come from the concept of PageRank with Google. So basically, if your content is popular, lots of people click on it and they link back to it, it rises up and up and up, gets higher in the search results. That's how you get to number one. I think we're entering a new era of the agent rank. So basically, your service, your company, whatever it is going to be ranked by agents now. It's not going to be reading your emotional copy on a homepage. It's going to be realizing, does it have a CLI? Does it have a good MCP? Has it got a great API with good documentation? What's the performance like? What is the cost of this service? And what other trust variables do I need to ensure this is a good choice for the process I'm about to do? As companies, we need to think about how we manage around this. And as builders, we need to think about what we build and how we build in this agent first world. Personally, I think the best way to understand and take advantage of this new shift is to become a builder yourself. Right now, we're in the phase where developers are using these kind of CLIs to build out applications and move a whole lot faster. It's at the cutting edge of what's possible. It will be quite some time before the rest of the market, e-commerce, consumers, the rest of B2B catches up with this. If you understand how agents are starting to interact and what developers are building now to solve their problems, you can extrapolate those and start to apply them to any domain you are interested in. If you want to go deeper on building this kind of autonomous workflow, check out the Switch Dimension course. The link is in the description down below. We cover exactly this kind of stuff step by step. Also, drop me a comment. What's the one service you wish your agent could set up for you right now? I'm building a list and I want to know what is blocking people. And if this was useful, hit subscribe. I'm covering the agent first shift every week and it's moving fast. So I'll see you in the next one.